The tractor hasn't started for a few days, and when it does start there's clouds of smoke. It's not excessively cold, about 45 degrees. Don't know what that is in Mickey Mouse, probably 6 or 7 degrees, something like that, 7 degrees centigrade maybe. Let's see what it does. All that unburnt fuel, and it'll do that for ages. This is the first injector that I've pulled out of the 574, and I reckon the last fella who saw it probably put it in 50 years ago at the factory in Doncaster. It's absolutely filthy and it looks completely clogged. So I've connected this injector up to my pop tester, and it's held the pressure at maybe 2300 for some minutes now, so the injector's not leaking at the nozzle here, and quite surprisingly it atomises quite well. Just have a look there. That. Do you see that? This took me by surprise. Before you take your injectors out, be sure to drop the water out of the side of the block here, because number one injector came out complete with the brass sleeve, so it's a kind of a wet system, which when the sleeve came out it allowed the coolant to go down into the cylinders, which is not good, of course. Number one, not so good. I don't know whether you can see, it's just jets coming out of it. Number three, let's see what happens. Some fairly poor quality atomisation and some leakage. And now number four. Here we go. Sounds better. Much better. Now, how the hell I'm going to get that wet liner off there without damaging either part, I really don't know, but I'm sure we'll think of something. Well, this is what I've come up with so far. I'm going to put those two bits on, weld them together and weld some legs on them, then put it in the press and see if we can push the thing apart. Well, this is what I've come up with. I'm going to support the injector in the press and push down on those rods. It might seem like a long-winded way of doing the job, but I can't see any other way of getting that brass liner off without damaging either the liner or the injector. Well, here we are, set up in the press. A bit of a Heath Robinson outfit, but let's hope it does the job. I used to have a revolting fat neighbour, and his only redeeming feature was he had an extensive scrap heap. and I got that off the scrap heap years ago, and it looks like it might have eventually come in useful. I keep telling my wife there's such a thing as scrap, but there is no such thing as rubbish. Let's see how we go. Taking the weight. It's taken a bit of force to get this thing off, but at least it's moving. Well, there we are. We got the wet liner off without damaging either it or the injector. If we just look at all that rust and sludge in there, it just goes to show that the upper seal, which is only an O-ring on the injector, really is important. I made this plate years ago for holding injectors in to work on them, and it's been invaluable. My favourite weapon for undoing injectors is a massive adjustable spanner, which I can close down onto the flats of the cap nut, good and tight, but I can't find it, and these ones aren't particularly tight, so I'm going to undo them with the spanner. I actually had a real airplane engineer comment on one of my videos and said that I shouldn't be using an adjustable spanner, but I think it's the right tool for the job. I've got the things arranged now in my ultrasonic cleaner, and if we look at number 3, we can see that the needle is really discoloured, which must mean that it's been sticking and allowing combustion gases to get back up into the injector. There, they're going away now in the ultrasonic cleaner in a solution of carburetor